Okay, I want to have this up here because I'm going to try to detail every day of the trial using various methods. Some people are updating it live on Twitter, but some of them are very difficult to find. So, see if people are interested in this trial, if they come in or not. And I did not know that they could publish information about the jurors. Hippie, hey girl. Are you following this trial? I hate that we can't see it. It's very stressful. I want to be able to see it. We grew up on this music. So they did publish information about the jurors, who they are, their ages, all of that stuff. So we're going to read this information here about them. Let's see. Hey, Sally. Hey there. Hey, y'all. Yeah, it's going to be, I think this will be very interesting. And if we're looking at who these jurors are, I really want to hear what you guys have to say about this because I don't know. Here. I'm going to do a nightly debrief. Hey. Yeah, I want to, because I'm definitely following it. I'm following the Karen Reed case too, and Mondays are horrible. But today, Gavel was sweet enough to take over, and I heard my friend Patricia went up there, and I missed it. So I have to catch everything later on that or in the morning. So let's go over the jurors and keep their ages in mind, where they live and what they listen to. I think that that's crazy important for this. So the first one is 69 years old, a guy, a massage therapist. He lives alone in Manhattan, and he told the judge that an immediate family member was a victim of domestic violence, but that wouldn't make him think one way or another about the case. This next guy is 31 years old. Oh, yeah, definitely. Lives in Manhattan, is an active member of his church. He vowed to be a fair juror. He flagged that he has a moral objection to capital punishment. He also saw the video of Diddy assaulting Cassie, and he's aware of the allegations. So, this guy's a scientist. He's 51 with a PhD in molecular biology. He said he's vaguely aware based on news reports. We have a 30-year-old deli clerk, and generally she doesn't watch the news. She lives with her family in the Bronx. I think she's the youngest one, a 30-year-old deli clerk. She enjoys listening to hip hop and reggae. 42-year-old nursing home aide. She lives in Manhattan, has 2 kids, and prefers getting her news by word of mouth. She got a ticket 15 years ago for nothing, and she's familiar with the allegations. 41 years old guy works at a correctional facility, and he likes 90s hip hop and lives in the Bronx. He said he's familiar with the basic allegations, but his pre-existing knowledge doesn't prevent him from being fair. He pled guilty to something on fraud, whatever. Then we have 2 68-year-old men. One is retired, but used to work for a bank, lives in Westchester, has adult kids, listens to Indian music, plays cricket and volleyball. This one is a retired lineman for a telephone company, listens to classic rock, lives in Westchester. He's familiar with the names associated with the case because he watched Making the Band when it was originally aired. He has a distaste for looking at violence on video, but he watched Cassie's assault video. So he says, I saw a video of Mr. Combs. It seems like this person was in the video and harm was being done to her in the video on TV. I didn't exactly know the reason why he was doing that, but I don't think that would impede me from making a decision as far as if he went any further with it or what. I didn't see much. Okay. A 43-year-old physician's assistant lives in Westchester, listens to R&B and hip hop, and is part of a community-based organization for women in Harlem and a social justice public theater. This guy's 39. He's a social worker, so he frequently handles domestic violence cases. He's a licensed security guard. He lives in the Bronx. He listens to R&B, Afro beats, and gets his news from YouTube. And he likes watching sports. This guy's 67, and he works as an analyst for a bank. Lives in Westchester, has 3 adult kids, one who's a security guard, and said he served on a jury in the Bronx, but they never reached a verdict. A 74-year-old treatment coordinator for an organization dedicated to serving disabled, lives alone in Manhattan and enjoys classical music. And she has a bachelor's degree in sociology. Yeah, this is going to be very interesting. I've never seen this level of information about jurors, not ever. So I'm really like, what? We even have the alternates. We have a 57-year-old architect guy. He's active in the Boy Scouts, lives in Westchester. He's familiar with the allegations based on media reports, but doesn't pay attention to celebrity media. I'm old enough to have heard a lot of stories before trial, and then when the evidence is actually presented, things are, the truth comes out. We have an unemployed former window cleaner. He watches crime shows, listens to metal and R&B. He is familiar with basic allegations, but doesn't really watch the news. Quote, he was accused of the sex trafficking, but that was about it. End quote. A 40-year-old physician who lives in Manhattan with his wife. He's previously read an article written by someone who said Combs threatened her, but does not think that information is relevant. 71 years old, nonprofit employee. She works for a dance nonprofit, lives with her spouse, and likes classical music. We have a 24-year-old female. She works as a site operator for a coffee service company, lives in the Bronx, is married, and her spouse lives in West Africa. She listens to hip hop, rap, soul, and West African music. She's aware of Cassie's video, but thinks she could still be fair. Quote, there are both sides to every story. I don't know the full story, so I can't be completely one-sided. Oh, male 37, officer at an international organization. He works as an admin officer with an international government organization, has a master's in international relations, rock, pop, and classical. He said he was familiar with the allegations, despite not liking celebrity kinds of cases. Quote, no one likes hearing about prostitution and things like that. I mean, no one is not pro-prostitution and things like that, or other drug charges and things like that, They're not good allegations, but I could still be objective and fair. Okay, so now we have all of the information on all of these things. Those are the jurors. Those are the guys who are going, and the people. Thank you so much, Gavel, for covering for me today for my morning mess. So those are the jurors. Much older crowd, it feels like, I don't know what we're going to do with Diddy here. It doesn't sound great for him, but he has turned gray now. He's much, much thinner, they say. His mom was there today. Many of his kids were there today as well. All right. Let's get into this so that it does not take forever. All right. So this is a federal case. This is day one, and this is a recap. The prosecutor's name is Emily Johnson. Johnson began her opening by asserting that Diddy was not just a music mogul, but the head of a violent, exploitive criminal enterprise that lasted 2 decades. She says this is not about private sexual preferences, but about abuse, coercion, and trafficking. She goes on to describe a pattern of abuse involving 2 central women, Cassie Ventura, everybody's seen that video by now, and a lady named Jane Doe. They're not giving her a name, so she's going to stay anonymous. Cassie was allegedly coerced into so-called freak-offs. I think we've heard enough about those to last a lifetime now. But hotel room orgies orchestrated by Diddy under threats, manipulation, and drug use. She went on to say that when he told her to have a freak-off, she knew she had no choice. Her safety depended on keeping him happy. She said that Cassie performed the acts that he demanded while he watched, recorded, and directed. And Cassie wasn't the only one. This was a pattern. Now, Jane Doe's story. Jane is a single mother. She began dating Combs in 2020. He told her about the freak-offs and immediately brought her to a hotel where an escort was waiting. Jane believed it was going to be a one-time event, but it ended up escalating. She was told not to request condoms. She tried avoiding drugs, but eventually broke down and used ecstasy just to endure these freak-offs. When Jane invited other men to choose who she would be with, he punished her. He discouraged her from working with any men that he hadn't chosen and used videos that he took to blackmail her. The prosecutor described a night when Combs kicked in multiple doors in Jane's house after a fight, ultimately kicking her to the ground and ordering her to perform again. There are going to be other witnesses, a lady named Mia, who was his personal assistant and who now claims she was raped by him. Hotel security received a $100,000 bribe in a paper bag to destroy the video evidence about Cassie. Staff allegedly kept Cassie in hiding for days after one violent episode. Witnesses include a chef, an assistant, a former employee allegedly kidnapped into a car at gunpoint, escorts who saw him use and abuse Cassie during the freak-offs. So the evidence that they allege that they have: hotel records, car service logs, damaged property, texts, and videos showing him giving instructions to women who were high on ecstasy, a video of him brutally beating Cassie, as we've all seen, photos of 4 broken doors in Jane Doe's house, seized contents from his home, including guns, drugs, and lubricant. We all know about the lubricant. An agreement barring a hotel guard from speaking out after being paid. The closing words were, quote, "Pay attention to the evidence. Follow the judge's instructions. Use your common sense and you will reach the verdict that Sean Combs is guilty." So, he's very, very gray. Yeah, very gray. Which is, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I guess I didn't realize that he was dyeing his hair. I mean, I guess we all do, don't we? But I didn't think he was going to be dyeing his hair. I didn't think he was dyeing his hair. So I don't know. I don't know what the hell I thought. That he had magic hair or something. This is her pointing at him. I don't think he was too pleased with that, of course, but Yeah, he's very gray, and they said that he has lost a lot of weight. Of course, we can't have any photographs in the courtroom, so we're stuck with the drawings. I mean, these drawings are pretty good. They're not horrible, but I don't know. They're not great either. So, they draw better than me. Yeah, just for men, I guess you're not getting that in prison. That's not going to happen, or in jail. All right. Opening statements by Garagos. He began by, or Tenny Garagos. That's a guy, right? I don't want to say that it's not a guy, or that it is a guy when it's not. So let's just make sure, because it's a weird name. Tenny. Tenny? That's this guy here, right? And I know that I've heard of this person before. Tenny. Isn't Tenny the female, though? Yes. She's a founding partner. All right. I got her. I've got her right here. Let's see. Very pretty lady. There she is. There's Tenny. I thought Mock, right? That's what I was thinking too. That was just clearly. But this is Tenny who did the opening statements here. So, first thing that she says, this is about love, jealousy, and money. Her key points were Sean Combs grew up in Harlem and built an empire. He changed music, fashion, and business. He has a temper. He's lied to women. He was violent. We own that, she says, but that is not racketeering. The government is intruding or attempting to intrude into his private sex life. She goes on to say that Cassie was a consensual 11-year relationship with Combs. They fought. They got back together. She stayed. She was jealous of Kim Porter and of Gina, and Combs was not monogamous. The hallway assault video is real, but that is not evidence of trafficking. After that incident, they remained together for 2 more years. Cassie married Combs' trainer. She goes on to say, Cassie had a choice every day to leave. The only freak-offs that will be shown, Tenny said, came from Cassie's phone. On Jane, she says, Jane entered the relationship with her eyes open. She wanted to be with Combs, both emotionally and sexually. She enjoyed the threesomes. She sought out validation, and she wanted to be first place for him. She struck Combs in a fit of jealousy recently in their relationship, slammed his head onto a kitchen counter. They continued seeing each other, and she flew out again and again. She says about Jane, this was their time together. She claims that it's about motive. The motive is money. Cassie demanded $30 million. Others wanted $22 million. Their motive is financial. Mia's allegation, the assistant, only surfaced after she began cooperating with the government. On the hotel bribe, the payment to the Intercontinental Hotel guard was for publicity protection, not for obstruction of justice, because it was not a case at that time. On the charges about drug use, they claim those are all personal. Those are his own personal drugs. On kidnapping, an employee who later asked to work for him again, he certainly did not kidnap that person. And sex for money, that's illegal in porn. Combs was paying for an experience. That was the experience he wanted. It's his sex life, and it's nobody's business. Closing argument from Tenny, quote, you are not here to impose your morality. If you listen to the evidence, you will find Sean Combs not guilty, end quote. Now you know you're lying. Gotcha, Jane. Hey, AP. Yeah, this is a lot. This is a lot. I mean, is it trafficking? Is it extortion? Is it kidnapping? Or is it a freaky guy who has a lot of clout and a hell of a lot of money and can get these women and escorts and men to come to his freak-offs? I don't know. um, I don't know. Let's hope that they are better at explaining all of it than the judge in the Karen Reed trial, because otherwise, God knows what's going to happen. So there was testimony by an officer, Israel Flores. Flores testified about responding to a March 5th, 2016 incident at the Intercontinental Hotel in LA, where he worked as the assistant director of security. He received a report of a woman in distress on the 6th floor. When he arrived, he saw Combs in a towel and socks. Cassie was on the floor. Cassie was saying she wanted her phone and bag, and Combs told her, "You're not leaving." Flores later stated Combs offered him money, which he refused. Quote, "I don't want your money. The damage is going to be charged to your room." End quote. Cassie ended up leaving in a black SUV with a tall driver. Flores and another employee reminded Combs of the hotel rules. Flores said Combs asked, quote, "Are you recording me?" End quote. And Flores responded by pinning him to the wall with his forearm. Okay, so from what I'm understanding too, Flores recorded this because he wanted to tell his wife what he saw. Okay. Hey, Tater. He wanted to tell his wife, like, "You're not going to believe what I saw today." So he was recording him. So when Diddy asked, "Are you recording me?" he came at him and put his forearm to his chest or neck or wherever, pinning him to the wall. Yikes. Okay. Hmm. Flores took photos of the room damage and wrote an incident report out. Surveillance footage was shown in court, Combs dragging Cassie by her sweatshirt. Flores admitted he recorded 2 videos of the surveillance footage with his iPhone to show his wife. When he returned to work 2 days later, the original video was gone. So I'm guessing maybe Diddy was able to pay somebody else to get rid of that. So the cross-examination was done by Brian Steele, one of the defense attorneys, and he confirmed that Flores never thought that it was serious enough to even call law enforcement. Confirmed he left out several key statements and facts, that the driver was 7 feet tall. There was also a third party in the room, and he left these out of the original report. He admitted that Combs never attacked him, but he put his hands on him. He admitted the hotel cameras had motion sensitivity and there were several gaps. On redirect, Flores confirmed that Diddy didn't appear high or drunk and said that Combs did drag Cassie back towards the room in a violent manner. Ugh, terrible. Okay. Now, this next person is a male review dancer. His name is Daniel, and he was hired by Cassie to perform sexually while Diddy watched. So he was hired by Cassie to perform with her, I guess, while Diddy was watching. So the first visit, Cassie was in a red wig, stockings, and sunglasses. The room had red couches and Astroglide lubricant. Combs was wearing a white robe, a bandana over his face, and a baseball cap. Philip recognized him by his voice. After sex, Cassie paid him $2,000 and asked for a photo. He returned for additional encounters. Combs was always present. He described multiple venues: the Gramercy Park Hotel, the Essex House, 56th Street apartment, West End Avenue. Said he was told to use the name Black. confirmed vulgar messages were exchanged. Cassie asked for role play, and baby oil was used every time. Combs allegedly directed him, quote, step off, back off, and slow down. Claimed he was once told to urinate on Cassie. Sir, 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 we don't like that. No, I was with you. We were all right up until that. Okay, all right. I'm just like, all right, so you guys are doing whatever you're doing. Okay, great. She's wearing a wig and the hat and the baseball, and now we have urine. I'm gonna have to go with no. Okay. So he ends up saying, quote, after I saw Combs hit Cassie, I couldn't do it anymore, end quote. So I don't know when or where he saw her get hit, but I need to look more into that. Cross-examination. Defense confirmed he worked for a male review show where prostitution was prohibited. He confirmed a bunch of text messages between him and Cassie. He also said that it was Cassie who handed him $4,000. He wore an NYPD t-shirt costume and said Cassie appeared to be enjoying herself, described the sex as missionary, and noted that at one point Cassie said it was her birthday and claimed she requested a photo afterwards. Okay. Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you, but no, thank you with the urine. We're just not going to do any of that. Okay. We're not. No. Mm-mm. I mean, I don't even know why this R. Kelly did enough of that for everybody. Yeah. So we don't fucking need any more of it, friends. All right. So now you have the summary, but I can give you more information now. So these are from the prosecutor. These are statements that the prosecutor made during either her opening statements or during court. When he said to have a freak off, she knew that she had no choice. She called an escort to put on performances that he wanted, that Diddy wanted. Her safety depended on keeping him happy, and the relationship was very complicated. Both of them were unfaithful, but only one of them had power. He made Cassie do his biddings in these dark hotel rooms. Cassie was not the only one. It was a pattern. Let me tell you about Jane. She was a single mom that started spending time with him in 2020, and she fell in love. He was seeing other women. One night, he told Jane about the freak-offs and made it happen immediately. He took her to a hotel where an escort was on the way. He directed her step by step. Jane thought it was going to be a one-night wild time, but she was wrong because he continued and he was offering her a real relationship. Jane wanted the escort to wear condoms, but the defendant did not let them. Jane tried to make it through these nights without any drugs. The first time, she broke down and took ecstasy to finish. Another time, she vomited, but he said she's got to go do it again. Oof. Jane found two men and invited them to join in the freak-offs. So now Jane was finding men, so she could choose the man that she would be intimate with. The defendant discouraged her from working as well. He did not want her to work. He had the power to coerce her back into the hotel rooms. He threatened her with videos, allegedly. Not even a year ago, he went to her house. She was angry. She hit him. He became enraged. She tried to hide. She locked herself in the bedroom and he kicked it open. Then the bathroom, the closet, and the guest bedroom. He kicked her to the ground. He did not let Jane be. He said, "You're not going to fuck up my night." He said he called an escort and had her perform. Jane followed his instructions. His violence got him what he wanted. Cassie will tell you about the time the defendant forces himself upon her. Mia, an employee, will tell you about how the defendant forces himself on her, hand up dress, penetrating her. Amidst all this violence, he and his inner circle work to cover up his crimes. The video at the LA hotel, you will hear just how far this went. The defendant offered a hotel security guard a wad of cash, a brown paper bag with $100,000 in $100 bills. The inner circle kept Cassie in hiding for days. For all of this, he is charged with multiple federal crimes, racketeering, conspiracy. Cassie and Jane will tell you the most painful experiences of their lives. You'll hear from some of the defendant's employees, including his personal assistant, Mia. You will hear from the employee he forced into an SUV with a gun and from a chef. They worked punishing hours, at times without sleep. They bought drugs for him. They were expected to keep quiet. Some of these witnesses have already received settlements. So they've already received settlements. That's interesting. Okay. You'll also hear from some of the escorts that the defendant directed them and filmed it. An escort saw the defendant assault Cassie and drag her by her face during a freak-off. You'll see records from hotels and the damage and the car services. You will see text messages in which the defendant tells staff to bring cash for escorts, and by Jane saying she did not want to do freak-offs. Let me ask you guys this, though. These are escorts. They're paying escorts. That part, well, I suppose it depends on where they were when this was happening, but if you're paying an escort and they're coming and they're performing and they take the payment, they leave, they don't file anything, you did what you did, they did what they did, and then that was the end of it. That is not trafficking. Now, if in fact he forced all these other women to do all of these dirty things, including being pissed on, then that's a whole different situation. But also, if there's no proof that he was buying illegal drugs, I mean, how are you going to prove it now? What are you going to do? You can't drug test him in the past. I mean, you can charge him for whatever drugs you found in his house, I suppose. Okay. Okay, let's see. You will see text messages in which the defendant tells the staff to bring cash for escorts, and Jane saying she did not want to do freak-offs. You will see videos. In them, you can hear the defendant provide direction to Cassie and Jane high on ecstasy. You will see a video of the defendant brutally beat Cassie during a freak-off in an LA hotel. You'll see photos of the damage, including 4 doors in Jane's home not even a year ago. You will see what he had in his home: guns, med bag of drugs, lubes. You will see the argument with the hotel guard, barring him from speaking after he paid $100,000 for the video. You'll hear him manipulate Jane into saying she wanted it. His threats not to pay for her home, texts to his staff about that. And I will ask you to do 3 things: pay attention to the evidence, follow the judge's instructions, and use common sense. All right, so Tenny's up. This case is about love and jealousy and money. They are trying to turn it into a racketeering case, and that won't work. You're the jury. You'll evaluate the witnesses, and finally the story can come out. This case isn't about what you heard on the news. Sean Combs is fascinating. He grew up in Harlem and built a lawful business. He worked for it. He created a culture and produced music that changed a generation. Witnesses will share with you that he is a fascinating person and people are very drawn to him. If you wanted to climb in music, apparel, or beverages, you wanted to be around Sean. He gave people opportunities to work at his companies. He had a vision that few others had. The witnesses mostly loved him. The text messages will show that. He is now 55 years old. He is going to be Sean Combs. I am Tenny Garagos. I am honored to represent him. The only people in this courtroom who will tell you about racketeering are the prosecutors, because there was no conspiracy. This case is about Sean's private sex life. The government has no business in that. These hardworking individuals were educated from Harvard to Howard University. Yes, he has a temper, and yes, it got violent, and he's not proud of that, but we're owning it. He sometimes gets so jealous or angry he's out of control. You will hear that he lied to his girlfriends. You may think that he's a jerk or that he's mean, but he's not being tried for that. He's being tried for running a racketeering enterprise. This is domestic violence. Domestic violence is not sex trafficking. Had he been charged with domestic violence, we would not be sitting through an 8-week trial. He is not guilty of these crimes. As the trial goes on, we are going to take on accountability. We will not shy away. Sean had a bit of a different sex life. Well, you could say that again, Tenny. The alleged victims were all getting something from him. They are adults. They too must take on the responsibility for their lives as he does his. A free choice has pros and cons. You will need to evaluate these women. They made free choices every day for years. Ask yourself, what are all the ways this individual had the ability to make these choices? Ask yourself, what is this person getting? Something that they want. Jealousy drove choices of the victims. Combs never married, but he is a many woman man. He has always had multiple relationships. He was not always honest, and it drove a primal jealousy. Sean is also extremely jealous, and you may think that's hypocritical. They remained in a multi-year relationship with him. These women were in love with him. Infidelity and jealousy drove the violence. Alcohol and drugs drove the things. But he is not a racketeer. This case is about his relationship with Cassie and Jane. You will hear about swinger parties. They will testify about the things that should never be heard in a federal courtroom that he liked to watch. And you may not like that, but you're not here to judge him for his sexual preferences. A wealthy rapper paid for these women's homes and vacations. He is not charged with being a flawed human being. These women fought to be in a relationship with him. Cassie, I expect you will hear from her this week about her 11-year relationship with him. Sean was with Kim Porter, the mother of his 4 children. He continued with her until her death from pneumonia in 2018. His fights with Cassie were about cheating. It was about a toxic relationship. They loved each other. Cassie will tell you about the jealousy of Kim Porter and then Gina. The days of the hotel hallway, jealousy was always on display. Violence by the elevator bank 10 years ago, you will see it later today. And what Combs does in these videos is indefensible. But the video is not evidence of sex trafficking. Cassie walked out of the hotel room with 2 bags. Combs comes down wearing only a towel. He stomps her and drags her by her hoodie. He comes back around to get a phone. What causes a fight about a phone? Phones keep the secrets of infidelity. As soon as he gets the phone, he sits down and he is disgusted. Cassie calls security. You will hear from him later today. The guard tells him to leave the public area. You will see Cassie telling him to get back to the hotel room. They stay together 2 more years after this incident. Even into 2018, they are fighting to stay together. She sees a photo of Sean with Gina. He started with her in 2014. Cassie had a choice every single day to stay with him. That was her choice, until she decided not to and she broke up. She was not coerced. When she left there were no repercussions. She ran into the arms of a physical trainer Sean had hired to train her. The only freak offs you will see at this trial were on her phone, not his. In November of 2018, Kim passes away from pneumonia. Cassie did everything to be there for him. She flew to Georgia. Amidst a breakup, she flew there to be with him. Combs said Kim was his soulmate. The end of the relationship between Combs and Cassie was triggered by that. Cassie realized all the things she would not be. She wanted to be his wife and the love of his life. She had spent 11 years trying to get that. Cassie married the trainer and is pregnant now with her third child. Evaluate Combs' intent at the time for those 11 years. These messages will show she was a willing participant in their sex life. Cassie's testimony this week can't change that. Now, in 2020 with Jane, Combs was more upfront. He told her he was dating other women. She was still jealous. Jane wanted to make it public. He proposed a consensual threesome. They went to a private hotel, and I expect her to say she enjoyed it. Jane was desperate to be with him, to give him the things others couldn't. She tried to make it more than sexual. I'm not sure how she's going to put it, but it always came back to parties in the hotel room. That was how they spent their time together. Jane did it for the cuddles. She wanted to make him happy. She was unable to resist him emotionally. There was a phone call in November of 23. Even after it, she flew out to see him many more times. It was toxic, but she was willing. Being a willing participant in your sex life is not sex trafficking. If she walked away, she would have lost him. You will see her jealousy. She would see him on social media with other women, and she would send messages of regret. This is not coerced. She has driven to try to be first place. This was the way to try to get there. That's not a crime. There was a night a year ago when Jane hit him. That was out of jealousy, and he hit her back. She was overcome by jealousy, and she slammed his head into her kitchen counter. Months later, she flew to see him and invited an escort. She will call it one of her best nights, a wild king night. Whatever you want to call it, this will be hard to watch. They are, in one word, intimate. So they're going to show her having sex with an escort? Lord have mercy, Jesus. It's a lot, isn't it? Jeez Louise. Okay. The government told you about someone named Mia. Why are they making these allegations now? You will conclude that everyone has a motive. With Mia, she's never said it before, not when she first started cooperating with the government. If the work environment was so hostile, why did she not call the police? These ladies are vindictive. Their motive is simple: money. Cassie filed a public lawsuit in November of 23. She was living in her parents' modest home in Connecticut, and she went to a civil lawyer. That lawyer is here today. They went to a civil lawyer to make a money grab. Cassie demanded $30 million. Another has asked for $22 million. How many millions of reasons do these witnesses have to lie? The evidence will not make out the charges. Regarding bribery, this is about the Intercontinental Hotel. He paid a security guard to make the footage go away. This was solely to prevent bad publicity for Combs and Cassie. There was no law enforcement investigation at that time. The kidnapping related to an employee. She worked for him 10 years. She asked to work for him again. Drug trafficking, it was for personal use. They worked hard, and they were there to do something great. It was a free choice. There is no conspiracy. He was paying different men for their time and experience. Porn actors get paid. Hulkamania. Cowboys for Angels. You can pay for money and time and experience, and that's what Sean was doing. You are not here to impose your morality on this man. If you listen, you will find him not guilty. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Jesus, take the wheel, honey. Yeah, that's a lot. Okay, so what do we think so far from opening statements? Keep in mind, they are charging him with trafficking, kidnapping, um, racketeering. So those are a lot of things that they are accusing him of doing and being. Is he all of those things? He could be, I guess. He could be. I don't know. They do bring out exhibits. Some of them are videos. I don't know that they showed them, but Flores comes out and discusses that he's, she said, I'm judging. I am judging too. I am. But we're not supposed to. If you're legally going by the law, then you have to go by the law. So Flores, the security guy, comes out and says, I recognize Sean Combs. He is there wearing the sweater. What is your title? Assistant Director of Security. Okay, now this is the prosecution. Let me show you a photo of the Intercontinental Hotel. Flores, it's shaped like a pyramid. Judge admitted. So they admit that into the trial as evidence. Prosecutor, what kind of incidents do you respond to? Flores, all kinds. We had a couple of suicides there. We prepare incident reports and the 5 W's. Prosecutor, would you attach photos to the report? Flores, yes, but not video. We did not have the password to do that. Prosecutor, when did this incident take place? Flores, 11 a.m. I got a report of a woman in distress on the 6th floor. I closed the security base and checked the camera. There was an African American man pacing back and forth. I didn't see a female, and I rushed up there. Prosecutor, what did you see on the 6th floor? Flores, Mr. Combs in a towel and like some colored socks. He's a rapper, producer, and Cassie was on the floor. Prosecutor, let me show you the photos. Shows photos of Combs in a tuxedo and in a separate photo, Cassie smiling. Prosecutor, what did you tell them? Flores, that is, they were arguing that have to take it back to the room and that the broken vase would be a charge to the room too. Cassie said she wanted her phone and her bag. Miss Cassie said she wanted to leave. Mr. Combs said, you're not leaving. Then I saw inside the room a male black wearing dark clothing. Prosecutor, what did Combs do after Cassie left? Flores, he called for me. He was holding a stack of money not to tell anyone. Prosecutor, and what did you say? Flores, I said, I don't want your money. The damage is going to be charged to your room. Prosecutor, where did Cassie go? Flores, after I spoke with her, she left. A car pulled up and she left in a black SUV. Prosecutor, was there a driver? Flores, 7 feet. What does 7 feet mean? Thank you, KCG, for becoming a member. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What is 7 feet? Does it mean he's 7 feet tall? He seemed creepy to you? Oh, you're a liar. Come on. Bad vibes? From Diddy? I don't believe it. Did he give you guys bad vibes? Did he? Did he give you bad vibes? Anyway. All right. I don't know what 7 feet means, but 7 feet tall, 7 feet away. I don't know. Was there a driver? Flores, 7 feet. I don't know what that means. Okay, Flores. He said she wants to leave. I said, I'm talking to her, not you. And they left. Prosecutor, then what? Flores, we went up to Mr. Combs' room to remind him of the hotel rules. He opens the door and grabs the phone and says, are you recording me? And I pinned him to the wall. I took a photo of the broken vase to tell them to come clean it up. I went to write the incident report. Prosecutor, is this it? Flores, my report with my name on it? Yes. Prosecutor, then did you review the video? I am handing you a thumb drive with the videos. Did it have audio? Flores, no. Prosecutor, okay, let's walk through it. Who is this? Flores, Cassie. And this? Mr. Combs. Prosecutor, what is happening here? Flores, she picked up the wall phone. Prosecutor, what did you find when you got there? Flores, the broken vase. Prosecutor, what is this at the end of the video? Flores, me coming out of the elevator. Prosecutor, let's pull up the incident report again. Flores, here we reminded him that the checkout time was approaching. Prosecutor, what did you add to the incident report after you reviewed the video? Flores, I described what I saw in the video. Prosecutor, what else did you do with the video? Flores, I recorded 2 videos of it with my iPhone to show my wife at home. He was starstruck, right? And then Skila was gifted a membership. Why, look at that. Can someone drop the membership link? I don't know. Oh, that's silly. I don't know what the membership link is. We never do, which is sad. We should be better at this, but we're just not okay. It's not what we do, friend. But it does. It's in my description, so maybe it is. Here it is. So I don't. So this guy who's security recorded the video to show his wife. I mean, would you have done that? Maybe you would have. Hello there. Good to see you again. I don't know. Would you have? Don't lie either. Don't try and be like the moral police. Cassie's beautiful, JJ. She really is gorgeous. But would you have? Like, would you have been like, oh shit, it's a Diddy? Thank you for becoming a member, Hope. Appreciate that. I don't know. Maybe I would have been like, not of him hurting her, but you know, that. But then again, he probably sees. Yeah, he didn't do it because it was Diddy. He did it because Diddy was hurting Cassie, and he recorded it and brought it home to his wife, which is kind of creepy and a little gross. Okay. Let's see. Prosecutor, did you work the next day? Flores, no, I had the next 2 days off. Prosecutor, when you came back in, did you look for the video? Flores, I did, but it was gone. Prosecutor, did you ever see it again? Flores, yes, recently. Prosecutor, nothing further. Cross-examination, the judge wants to know. Brian Steele, you said your report was the 5 W's, right? Flores, yes. Steele, you mentioned that when you got off the elevator 11:14 or 11:15, you describe Mr. Combs as having a devilish expression on his face. Flores, that's my opinion. Steele, when you get off the elevator, what is in your hand? Flores, my radio. Steele, did Mr. Combs did not attack you, did he? Flores, no. Steele, and was there any law enforcement involvement? Flores, no. Steele, you videoed for your wife and kept it, right? Flores, I did. Steele, but never was law enforcement called? Flores, no, they were not. Steele, you told the jury Mr. Combs said to Cassie, you're not leaving, but your report didn't say that, right? Flores, at that point, I did not believe that was a significant fact. I'm not going to put down the back and forth. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So the security wrote a report, but did not put in there that when Cassie was trying to leave, sh- Diddy said, "You're not leaving." He never wrote that in there because he wasn't going to put down the back and forth. So let's let's keep in mind this is P Diddy, So this guy's recording it and taking it home to his wife. Come on, okay, come on. Yeah, this is her right here. She looks the same. I mean, she literally looks the same. She's stunning. Okay. Steal. So it wasn't important 9 years ago, but it is now. Objection. Judge. Overruled. Flores. I did not put it in the report at this time. Steal. But you said you were offered a bribe. But hadn't you told him he had to pay for just the vase? Flores. Yes. Steal. The gentleman you say you saw in the room, you described to the jury things that are not in your report. Flores, that guy didn't engage. Steele, why didn't you ask him his name? Flores, he wasn't talking to no one. Steele, did you tell anyone that at the time? Flores, no. Steele, okay, so now we know more. And the 7-foot driver, do you know who it was? Flores, I don't know, but Cassie knew him. Steele, you didn't put that in your report, that you offered to call law enforcement, and she refused. Why didn't you put that in the report? Flores, well, she said no, so there was no reason to include it. So what kind of fucking report did this guy do? Like, they broke a vase on the 6th floor. It looked like the P. Diddy guy. Like, what did you write in your report? I don't know. Steele, you said you put Mr. Combs against the wall. That's aggressive, isn't it? Flores, it could be, but I only put my forearm against his chest. Steele, but you didn't put that in your report either. Flores, you're asking me to have to put more detail in my report? Oh. Steele, do you remember the layout? Flores, no, just a corner room. Steele, was it a normal hotel room like I would stay in, just one room? Or did it have a living room? Flores, I don't know. Steele, the third party, you said he was on the bed. Flores, it was a pullout. Steele, you were in the hospitality business as well as security, right? Flores, yes. Steele, Mr. Combs, it was clear to you that he wanted to pay for the damage, right? Prosecution, objection, calls for speculation. Judge, ask that in a different way. At least we get to know what the objections are for, unlike Canton, Massachusetts, and Bev. Steele, that can be embarrassing for a guest. Prosecution, objection. Judge, sustained. Steele, one moment, nothing further. Judge, redirect. Prosecutor, did you typically include every single detail in a report? Flores, no. Prosecutor, did he seem drunk or high? Flores, no. Prosecutor, when he offered you money, what did he say? Flores, that he didn't want anyone to know about it pretty much. Prosecutor, which way was Mr. Combs dragging Cassie? Flores, back towards the room. Prosecution, nothing further. Judge, recross. Steele, they are motion sensitive cameras, right? So there are gaps, right? Flores, yes. Steele, nothing further. Judge, next witness. So what do we think? Hello, Ladybug Toes. What do we think so far of number one guy here? Better report than Yuri's. Also true. At least he wrote a report. At least he wrote a report. All right. So what do we think of the 9-year ago video? the fact that this guy recorded it to take home to his wife, and that he wrote a shitty report. I don't know. Do we believe him? Do we not believe him? I mean, the video's there for everybody to see, so. All right. Next one. Next witness. Named, what is this witness called? Just witness. It's just called witness, okay? Next witness. Comey is one of the prosecutors, Comey. What did Miss Ventura pay you for? Witness. To have sex with her. Mr. Combs was there too. My boss called me and he couldn't find any of our black dancers. So could I go to a bachelorette party in the Gramercy Park Hotel in downtown Manhattan? Comey, what did you expect to do? Witness, a stripper dance. Male dancer, which I guess is also the witness. I don't know why they're calling him a male dancer now, but anyway. She was in the hotel room in a red wig, stockings, and sunglasses. She handed me a few $100s. Comey, what was the room like? Dancer, red couches, Astroglide, a lubricant, and there was a man on the right side of the room. Male dancer. The man had on a white robe and a bandana over his face, below his eyes, and baseball cap. From his voice, I recognized him as Sean Combs. Comey, what did he say? Dancer, that he was into importing and exporting. He said he was having problems with my boss. Defense, objection. Comey, I'll get back to that. After the sex was over, what happened? Dancer, Cassie gave me a couple of $1,000 more. He said to give them my phone number, and I did. Cassie called me and asked me for a photo. Comey, and then what? Dancer, she called me to go back, and I did for a few hours, and then a few times after that. Was Combs always present? Yes. Comey, did you go to other locations? Dancer, Essex House, his residence on 56th Street, I believe 210 at the time. Her residence on West End Ave, I think number 10. Comey, what name were you told to say you were there to see? Dancer, I was there to see Black. Or male dancer says Black. Dancer, I would send her vulgar text messages. Comey, like what? Oh boy, here we go. Oh my God. All right. I didn't know that I was going to have to read these. Okay. All right. Okay. It's not anything we all haven't done, so shut up. Okay? Before you get started. All right. Male dancer. I would send her vulgar text messages. Comey, like what? Dancer, you want me to say it? Comey, give me an example. Dancer, I would text her, I want to fuck you right now. Comey, how often did you use baby oil? Dancer, every time. Combs said we didn't have enough baby oil on. He'd say, y'all slow down, separate from each other. One time he tried to have us role play like we had just met in an airport. We weren't good, so we skipped that. Like we just met at an airport and there wasn't enough baby oil. Bro, you're so rich. What the hell were you doing? Met at an airport. That isn't even cute. Oh my God, Jesus. There's not enough coffee in the world for this. All right. Okay. Comey. What direction did Mr. Combs give you? Dancer. He'd tell me to step off and back off. Comey. How many times, if any, who is this, fucking Lally? Comey, how many times, if any, were you told to urinate on Miss Ventura? Defense. Objection. Suggestive. Judge. Overruled. Dancer. They told me not to do it all at once? Oh my God. Defense. Objection to him saying they. Judge. I've got it. Comey. What happened after? Dancer. They'd leave me waiting for hours. This whole thing might go on for 10 hours. 10 hours? When the actual? When the actual? Yes, Teresa, I'm going to. Yeah, I am. I'm going to try to cover it each night. But I'm already like, okay, now we're urinating and all of the things. So, and it's very good to see you. Here we go. Oh, so what? Okay. So we had to hold the urine for a little while and not do it all at once. But I don't think he's meaning to say that they left him waiting, holding his urine for all those hours. I mean, he'd explode and die or something. So clearly not that. Okay. Dancer. They were headed to the Essex Hotel. They'd say to go in 30 minutes. It was the first time he opened the door as himself, dressed in a suit with no mask. Okay, so all of these other times, he had the mask and the hat on and just would watch. And now he's opening the door as Diddy. Ooh, okay. Comey, how did things change then? Dancer, he didn't feel. Donaldson, objection. Comey, who, if anyone, I swear to God, it's Lally, who, if anyone, recorded? Dancer, Mr. Combs, with his cell phone and camcorder. He took a photo of my driver's license for insurance. He said, Donaldson, objection. Judge, focus that. Comey, what did you understand? Dancer, he was threatening me. Yeah, I mean, if he's taken a photo of your driver's license, clearly, sir, he wants to know what you're doing. He wants to know how long the snow lasted. Good Lord. Well, thank you so much. I would appreciate that. That'd be great. 10 hours. I don't think anybody needs a break from sex, urine, sex. I mean, we haven't gotten into the really, it's just weird to read it out loud because allegedly it's Diddy saying these things. So it's strange thinking, I'll be missing you. I loved Diddy. Now I'm reading about urine. This is brutal. Okay. Dancer. Once I went and Cassie was slumped over, he said, it's not going to happen this time. Prosecutor. Did Mr. Combs offer you drugs? Dancer. Molly, I guess it's called, but I don't do drugs. I think I went out and handed out $100 bills. I don't know what that has to do with anything. Comey, how did the Molly make you feel? The dancer, sick, euphoric, like an idiot, handing out $100 bills. Comey, who else was present? Dancer, a guy who told me he was an actual escort. He was having sex with Cassie at other times at her apartment. Dancer, the guy was like looking at Combs, and Combs said, don't you be fucking looking at me. Now, Donaldson is one of the defense attorneys. Objection. Judge, let's get a fresh question. Prosecutor, what did he look like? Dancer, black guy, kind of skinny. We exchanged phone numbers. Why? Are you going to explain that part? So, okay. There was another man in the apartment, it seems, or the hotel, the Essex, where Diddy opens the door as himself, no longer in costume. Cassie's like passed out, slumped over, and Diddy's like, this isn't happening tonight. He offers him Molly. The dancer takes the Molly, and starts handing out $100 bills. But there's another thinner black guy there who looked at Diddy, and Diddy's like, don't fucking look at me. So those two, the escort and the dancer, then exchanged phone numbers. Okay. Comey, have you seen him in 10 years? Dancer, no. Prosecutor, Comey, did it ever seem you were not the first person there? Oh, come on. What? All right. Comey, did it ever seem you were not the first person there? Dancer, yes. Half-used Astroglide, towels on the floor. Comey, after the $100 bills, did you see them again? Dancer, no, I just couldn't do it anymore. Comey, what did you get paid when you couldn't perform? Dancer, nothing, but I never asked for money. I was happy to get involved with people with such notoriety. But after I saw Sean Combs hit Cassie, I just couldn't do it anymore. Comey, what was Mr. Combs saying as he as he beat Cassie? Sorry. Dancer, he said, bitch, when I tell you to come over here, you come over. And I didn't know what to do. Comey, did you intervene? Dancer, no, I knew that the bodyguards were there. Defense, objection, judge, sustained. Comey, so what next? Dancer, after that, after hitting her, he said, are y'all ready to continue? Did you try to continue? Dancer, I don't recall. Comey, did you see them again? Dancer, I thought I had developed some sort of friendship with Cassie, but I may have been speculating. Dancer, I went there. I heard him slapping her in there, and he walked out in a towel, and she ran to me, and I asked her, why are you with this guy? Defense, objection. Judge, grounds? Defense, hearsay. Judge, overruled. Dancer, she said nothing. She said it's okay. Comey, nothing further. What are we thinking of that? I but we all listen to him, right? I mean, I don't know. There were a few. I loved the little Diddy dance. I don't know. Lord have mercy, Jesus. Okay, here we go. So there's a break. Again, the male dancer's name is Daniel Phillip, not Phillips. Phillip. All right. Welcome back, jurors. I need the lawyers for a sidebar. Judge, Mr. Phillip, you are still under oath. So now we have the defense up. Defense, let me show you a text message chain between you and Cassie. Can you read that? Defense, is it accurate? Dancer, yes. Defense, you were working for a service? Dancer, yes, a male review show. Defense, you were a manager or a male stripper for women? Dancer, yes. Defense, prostitution was prohibited? Dancer, yes, it was. Defense, your job was to build it up. Dancer, yes and no. Defense, I'll go with yes. Prosecution, objection. Judge, sustained. Defense, did the company open fake businesses to optimize search results? Dancer, fake addresses, it was just SEO. Defense, you would optimize the lady's experiences? Dancer, I have no idea what you mean. It was just a slogan. Defense, Cassie told you to say the name Black, right? Dancer, yes. Defense, your boss told you someone wanted a black male stripper? Dancer, yes. Defense, let me show you this. Prosecution, shouldn't this be This should not be put on the screen. Oh boy. Defense. Take it off. Take it off. So whatever that was, they put it up on the screen. It was not supposed to be there. Not really sure what it was. Defense. She was wearing a wig. Dancer. Yes. Defense. She handed you money. Dancer. She handed me $4,000. Jesus Christmas. Okay. Defense. Before you rubbed any oil. Dancer. Correct. Defense. She had on heels. Dancer. And dark glasses. Defense. Where'd the money come from? Dancer. Her hand. Okay. Defense. You are wearing a New York City Police Department uniform, right? Dancer. Yeah, I bought an NYPD t-shirt. Defense. You took the oil off in front of Cassie? Dancer. The oil? No, I took my clothes off, and she then said, it's my birthday. Defense. Did it appear it appears she's enjoying herself? Okay, so they're playing this. They're playing this in here right now at that time. Okay. Defense. It appears she's enjoying herself? Dancer. Yes. Defense. What was your position? Dancer. Missionary. And I was like, did that just happen? Defense. And she asked you for a photo? Defense. I don't know if Sean Combs asked for it or Judge strike that. We will pick up here tomorrow. So, sadly, and I mean, I don't know. Clearly, he abused her. He was a cheater. All of those things. That is undeniable. I mean, he did those things. She was with him 11 years. The other lady got into a relationship. Then he still had Kim Porter until she passed away. Plus, there's a Gina somewhere in here as well. And Mia, his assistant, but I don't think that was a relationship. So he's got multiple women. Is that strange for a celebrity? See, yeah, it did. A little bit of piss and vinegar never hurt anybody, I guess. It's just I mean, listen, there are regular people who enjoy bathroom play, I happen to not be one of those people. But there are people who want that. It's a fetish. It's a thing. So, listen, Linda, I don't know. I don't have the answer. But again, so these were things that they were posting during court, what was happening. I wanted to see if there were any reactions from the jurors like we're getting in the Karen Reed case, and that's been so interesting, but it doesn't look like it. Just a repeat of what was being said, so that's unfortunate. I was hoping that we had juror reactions, but we don't. I mean, I am very glad that she went through with proving her case. We'll never get to see that. I mean, it was closed and it was settled and they just dealt with whatever they dealt with. But now there are several witnesses that are going to be coming into this to talk about it. I think 50 Cent is being called to be a witness. I'm like, all right. I don't think he ever attended a freak off, but the other stuff, not so much. Yeah, I mean, listen, I have no idea if they like this, they don't like it, they hate I don't know. I don't know. Until they testify, we have no idea. Yes, his daughters were in the courtroom along with his sons today. They're supporting their dad. Yeah. His mom was there as well. I mean, they weren't not shy. I mean, they are there for him. They're there for him, which I don't know. People believe that he hurt Kim Porter. Do we know that for sure? No, we don't. Jane is Jane Doe, but we have no idea. You know, they stay private. They won't release that name, which is good. I don't know how they. So he has a daughter, a recent high school graduate, Chance, and then 18-year-old twins, Delilah and Jesse. They left the courtroom twice while Phillips was testifying. Phillips was the escort person. Hey, B-Fergs. Listen, if you try and pee on me, I am biting the thing off, friend. Like, it's never happening. 50 just wants to, clown this whole situation, but I don't think he can do that. Yeah, I mean, they're very close to their dad, So here's what it says. Sean Diddy Combs' 3 daughters left the courtroom in the middle of his sex crimes trial when a male sex worker was giving testimony involving the graphic and lurid details of his alleged activities. Daniel Phillip, a male escort, alleged in a Manhattan court on Monday that he had been paid by Combs' ex-girlfriend Cassie to have sex with her. And Combs sat in the corner masturbating while he watched. Not illegal. I put the not illegal part in there, but anyway. Phillips also testified that he witnessed Combs being violent towards Cassie. Illegal. Combs' daughter, a recent high school graduate named Chance Combs, 18-year-old twins Delilah and Jesse, left the courtroom twice while Phillips testified, each time during graphic accounts of sexual encounters, including a time when Combs allegedly masturbated into a corner while watching him have sex. Prosecutors also played the court hotel security footage from 2016 where he is seen assaulting Ventura. You're now masturbating into corners. Okay. Combs' daughters remained in the room as the video of the encounter was played of the hotel. So did Combs' mother, Janice. They all looked straight ahead as the video played. Combs' son watched the video. Diddy has been charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pled not guilty. He was accused in 24 indictment of using his fame to lure women and forcing them to partake in sex parties, which are now known as freak-offs, some of which clearly lasted days, if not 10 hours. On Monday, he appeared in court in a gray sweater over a white collared shirt and khaki pants and blew a kiss at his family, who did show up to support him. The assistant U.S. attorney, Emily Johnson, told the jury that there is another side to the Grammy-winning media mogul, a side that ran a criminal enterprise. That for 2 decades, he and a team helped him kidnap, perform arson, undertake drugs, and sex crimes. What, sir? I don't know. I don't know what you're up to. I mean, you have a great life. A lot of money. Life is good. And you are jerking off in corners. It's unacceptable. I don't know what you're doing with your life right now. It's not okay. Now look, you're in prison. Jail, at least. At least jail. I mean, nobody wants to be there. Now you have gray hair. Not good. Not good. There you go. So there's his kids, security. That crazy lady Jaguar showed up. She's about as cuckoo as the day's long. And she says Jay-Z's worse. So we'll see. I don't know how true that is. I don't know. But here we are. You steer he has what? Please. Are you talking crazy about 50 Cent? We definitely don't do that. Definitely don't. I love him so much. What? Hello? Why is my phone talking to me? Don't know. Hello? I have no idea what's happening. Yeah, Jay-Z's weird, but 50 is. Listen, Linda, we don't talk crazy about 50 around her. There was a girl at work who was into. Oh, that's not nice. Nope. No, we're not going to have any of that. Okay. You can be whatever you want to be into. We just don't need to talk about it. Okay. Oh, I'm sure she does. I know Rabbit's been following this for quite some time. I've always followed it just quietly. Like, does anybody even care? I care so much. And I'm like, I know there's got to be other crazy people out here like me who care about this. And there are. Everyone knows rappers have done things. If you think they haven't, then you live in a land of unicorns. Yeah. I mean, you've got to think you come from, he came from an upbringing where do a lot of people make it out? Probably not. No, that not to his. Shut up. I'm like, why the fuck is my phone going crazy? And listen, don't let P. Diddy call me for something crazy. I'd be like, well, how much are you going to pay me for this? I mean, we can all say what we woulda, coulda, shoulda done. Now, the violence, that's insane. Forcing people to take drugs, also insane. Making you stay in a relationship you don't want to be in, all of those things. Should he have done those things? Absolutely not. I want to hear more about the parties where there's allegedly either underage people or forced sex, forced drugs, because right now what I'm hearing is they hired somebody, he came in, they did a freaky thing several times, and that's it. That's all I've heard so far. So Eminem's doing Christian songs. I don't know that that's true, friend. Is he? I definitely have to tell Jenny that. That can't even be true. That can't be true. Now we have to look it up. Eminem, Christian. I don't believe that. Songs. This has got to be AI. What is you people are crazy? This is not true. But now I need to know if it is. It says no. Nope. Can't be. None of this is accurate. That doesn't even look like Eminem. Are you trying to play with me? You know that I'm a little out there. So immediately I go look for it, and it's a whole AI person. It doesn't even look like him. Now this says Eminem Master Jesus. Well, maybe Master Jesus. No, none of these are real. Listen. We're not friends now. Yes, I just listened to one. No, you didn't. You listened to AI. You did not listen to one. Holy Spirit, activate. You did not. You absolutely did not. All right, I'll look one more time before we end this. Is Eminem doing Christian music? He is a Christian. He wears a cross. Not that that makes you a Christian, but 2 years ago, I speak. All right. Let's just see if this is true here. No, that's not even him. Stop it. People are like, "I just watched it." Yeah, if that was him, that'd be great. Except it's not. Yeah, imagine them trolling me. These people are crazy. Look at this guy. You're not even Eminem. Who are you, sir? Jenny will stab everybody over this because that is not him. Enough. You guys are crazy. Yeah, that's AI. 100%. 100%. I fall for everything too. I'm like, "Wait, he's what?" Let me go look. No, he's not. Damn it. Okay, so this lasted, 1 hour and 30 minutes. We're gonna try and cut it down to an hour tomorrow night. I was just taken aback that I had to read about urine, but I'm okay now. I'm over it. So, holy water, Holy Spirit, I rebuke it in the name of Jesus himself, honey. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Okay, thank you guys for coming in. Thank you guys for becoming members. I so appreciate it. Why do we have a trigger warning? I don't know. Holy Spirit, activate. All right, it's late. I have to go to bed. I got to stream Karen Reed in the morning. Okay? I love you. Okay. What do you do when you have tons of money? You literally go crazy and pee on people. That's what happens. All right, I love you. Bye.